Hey everyone, welcome to this episode of Wonderful Adventures. Which is nicer, the high rises or this beautiful view? William responded to each, sharing his insights. As we neared our destination, the plane tilted and alarm sounded. Dana looked puzzled, glancing at the malfunction screen. It must be a problem with the pressure valve, right? Well, whatever. This could be a great chance to tell you about my favorite plane. William started cracking jokes while looking at the rocks below, whereas Dana remained surprisingly calm. She was calculating the landing angle in her head, and finally, under her control, the plane touched down on the water, coming to a gentle stop. The scary crisis ended without a hitch, and William cheered, "I'm here." "Oh my goodness. It's kind of funny. Why would you leave him?" After going through such an experience, their relationship clearly took a giant leap. Faced with another nudge from her dad, William was in a dilemma. She had two issues, but the answer was hilarious and poignant. Dana's business isn't lucrative, but she finds it meaningful. Plus, she's growing fond of the fearless girl. Goodness. 5 days left, William decides to wait longer. William wasn't in a rush, planning to confess his true purpose. That night, after their near disaster, they met for a walk at the airport. Under the starry night sky, influenced by the ambience around them, they began to subconsciously share their lives and funny stories. They even talked about their childhood romantic experiences. See, this heart-to-heart kind of chat undoubtedly brought them closer. As time passed, they became inseparable, often going on rescue missions, and at night, they'd spend time under the starlit sky at the airport. In just a few days, they created beautiful memories, basking in the joy. William slowly forgot about her dad's assignment. By the 7th day, her dad noticed something was off and thought, "Uh-oh." He called William directly, and she realized just how significant the rescue work had become to her. She suggested keeping the branch office and expanding revenue channels, but her father was not impressed. He wanted more than just that little profit. He was hoping to enhance the brilliance of William's resume. But unfortunately, Nikki overheard this conversation inadvertently. She suspected that her son had given up this mission because of personal feelings, ultimately giving William an ultimatum. Just as William was deeply confused and uncertain about what choice to make, Dana had already learned the entire truth from Nikki. Without giving William a chance to explain, she hurried off in a rush to make a phone call. Danger alarm bled, and Dana remembered the storm warning from the weather forecast days ago. She hurriedly called her dad, who didn't pick up. Unfortunately, the anticipated happened. When she got through, her father was busy making sure those outside, but in the meantime, a roadblock came flying in, stunning her dad. Panicking, she paid no mind to her own safety and rushed outside as soon as she got into a raincoat. Witnessing all of this, William decided to help Dana, grabbing a flashlight and running outside. After searching for dozens of minutes, Dana's mind was flooded with fear and despair. Behind an inconspicuous warehouse, Dad was awake but too weak, relying on help. Just as he was ready to close his eyes and await his fate, a beam of light appeared. See, it was William. Falling beside him, Nikki explained again William's purpose, nearly making the old man faint. William felt guilty, she confessed. "I did have a purpose initially, but everything changed as I adapted to life here, and now I admire Dana and her buddies for their courage. Though there were nights when he deeply felt weak and selfish too. Now he strongly supports Dana, aiming to keep the airport open." Nikki stands by, ready to vouch. William thought, "I can't lose the airport this time. You have to believe me." Well, after all the drama, the father and daughter chose forgiveness, and before they knew it, morning came all too quickly. The dreadful storm had passed, and everyone stepped out of the shelter, greeted by a scene of devastation. But instead of worrying about the money needed to fix the airport, their first thought was to contact those in. After assessing the situation, they wasted no time grabbing relief supplies and rushing to the disaster area. Witnessing people go from despair to hope moved William deeply, solidifying her resolve to save the airport. For 3 days, her father didn't call, and William devoted herself to disaster relief. When she noticed her phone still hadn't received a message from her dad, a bold thought crossed her mind. Maybe he had given his silent approval for her to stay and help the airport regain profitability. Initially, everyone shared the same belief, however, it was shattered when her dad received the news. As Dana consoled her father, she directed a querying gaze towards William. She quietly pulled out her phone and dialed her dad, finally saying, "Okay, please don't do this." The airline announced the Fuchsia Air was about to go under. As she heard the call disconnect, Dana held back her tears and turned. William tried to chase after her for comfort, but was blocked by Jeffrey. "I'm sorry, I know, son, you did your best, but that can be truly embarrassing at times. Mary, let's just drop it." The old man thanked William for all her efforts and urged her to leave, before finding his daughter, who looked utterly heartbroken. Dana didn't leave out of anger that William couldn't save the airport, but rather out of gratitude for everything William had done.